te, kung pagod ka ng maghabol sa life, ako rin. Welcome to the Trentahin Podcast. Stop chasing and start choosing. Yan ang mantra natin dito. Kaya naman, let's go! Simulan na natin to. Pwedeng nakatulala ka lang habang nakikinig. If feeling mo, meron kang kailangan pang i-heal na attachment wounds, then pakinggan mo tong podcast na ito. So I created this para magkaroon tayo ng part 2 doon sa topic natin sa episode 8, which is all about understanding attachment. And feeling ko lang, no, kapag nasa Trentahin era ka na, kailangan talaga nagtitake time ka na to really heal your attachment wounds. Hindi lang ito beneficial sa romantic relationship, but this can also help and benefit your relationship sa kaibigan, sa pamilya, sa mga tao pang makikilala mo. Para hindi mo na mapasa yung sugat. Kung napapansin mo na mabilis kang ma-attach, kung napapansin mo na nagpo-pull away ka kapag lumalalim na yung pagsasama, or kung napapansin mo na masyado kang nagiging demanding, masyado kang nagiging needy, or kung ikaw nahihirapan kang mag-communicate ng needs, it doesn't mean na may mali sa'yo. Ibig sabihin lang, there's part of you that needs healing. Merong programming na nakuha mo maybe nung bata ka pa na kailangan ng paghilom. Ang lalim ng paghilom, pero totoo. That's why hindi ako love expert, hindi ako attachment expert, but I just really wanna talk about this because I feel like if we really wanna embrace kapayapaan in our 30s, kailangan na iintindihan natin at ma-heal natin yung ating attachment wounds. Again, yung attachment wounds nanggagaling yan sa mga past experiences natin or yung programming natin nung bata pa tayo. Nanggagaling siya usually if we experience being ignored, neglected, or if naka-experience tayo ng pagmamahal inconsistently. And over time, itong experience na ito creates beliefs or wounds. For some of us, it's the feeling of, I'm not good enough. I will be abandoned. I need to perform for me to be loved. I am bad. I don't matter. I am unlovable. Again, hindi mo ito kasalanan. Maybe this is just the way you learn how to love. Ito lang yung alam mo na paraan ng pagmamahal na nakuha mo din nung bata ka, na hanggang ngayon dala-dala mo. Again, this podcast is just for awareness purposes. If you feel like you need deeper support, if feeling mo kailangan mo ng mas maintindihan yung attachment style and attachment wounds mo, I highly encourage you to go research more about it, read books about it, or if kailangan mo na, huwag kang mahiyang mag-seek ng professional advice. But as early as now, I wanna validate you na hindi ka marupok, hindi ka mahina, walang mali sa'yo. You're just trained to love that way. Natutunan lang ng nervous system mo na ganoon mag-react sa mga triggers. And anything learned can be unlearned. Lahat ng sugat ay meron namang chance na maghilom. So for episode 9, I'll be sharing with you 5 ways to heal your attachment wounds in your Trentahin era. Number 1 is awareness of the wounds. Everything starts by being aware. So kailangan aware ka ano yung attachment wounds na pinakang trigger mo. Ito yung core wounds or core belief, usually limiting belief na meron ka. Example, I'm not good enough, iiwan din ako, I don't deserve love, or I don't matter. Marami pa yan, pero ano yung negative belief na meron ka or yung negative affirmation na usually malakas sa utak mo every time na natitrigger yung attachment mo? Maybe ask yourself, when you react that way, ano ba yung pinanggagalingan mo? Ano ba yung pinanggagalingan ng selos? Ano ba yung pinanggagalingan ng insecurity mo when it comes to love? Or when it comes to being in a relationship? Kasi hindi ka nagiging ganyan ng walang dahilan. Laging may pinanggagalingan yan. Let's use I'm not good enough as an example. So if yun yung core attachment wounds mo, maybe start recognizing saan ba nanggaling yun nung bata ka. Usually nanggagaling yun kapag lumaki ka na kailangan mong mag-perform para makuha yung atensyon ng magulang mo or yung mga tao sa paligid mo. Usually, meron kang core wounds na I'm not good enough kapag nakatanggap ka ng pagmamahal inconsistently. Minsan nabibigay yung care and love na kailangan mo and minsan din naman hindi. Or minsan, bago ka makatanggap ng affirmation, kailangan may patunayan ka muna. Lumaki ka ba sa environment na hindi normal na i-validate yung galing mo? Hindi ba ganun ka-expressive yung parents mo para sabihin sa'yo kung gaano kanila kamahal? Or palagi ka bang nako-compare maybe sa kapatid mo, sa kapitbahay mo, or sa mga pinsan mo? That's why kahit anong improvement na nagawin mo sa sarili mo ngayon, kahit na anong success ang ma-achieve mo right now, you still feel this feeling of not being good enough. Kasi hindi mo pa nahi-heal yung wounds na na-create mo nung bata ka pa. And I want you to take time figuring this out. Talagang makinig ka sa sarili mo. I-notice mo yung sarili mo na kapag na-attach ka sa isang tao or kapag may bagong relationship na naman nabibuild, ano yung negative belief or wounds na nag-show up when you meet someone? Nagmamanifesto usually kapag may na-meet ka na tao tapos you feel down, ang tingin mo sa sarili mo ay mababa dahil tinitingnan mo yung label na meron kayo. Maybe mas mayaman siya, mas okay yung career niya, mas malaki yung income niya, or mas marami na siyang napuntahang lugar, and kino-compare mo siya sa'yo. So that's why, nape-pressure ka na kailangan mo mag-perform para mapansin ka niya or para makakuha ka ng attention from that person. Or usually, ang narrative mo, ito lang ako. Hindi niya siguro ako mapapansin kasi sino ba naman ako? Parang ganun usually yung narrative mo. If yung core wounds mo is I'm not good enough. So after being aware, step 2 is self-compassion. Stop telling na hindi ka enough. It's one of the many lies that you tell yourself. And if this is a recurring pattern na mabilis kang ma-fall, ayaw mong ma-attach, or takot kang iwan ka, stop judging yourself habang nasa process ka pa ng healing. Kasi if this is a recurring issue or pattern, ibig sabihin may kailangan kang i-heal. And the more na harsh ka sa sarili mo, mas mahirap for you to heal. Versus, again, i-acknowledge mo lahat ng pattern mo sa relationship, paano ka nag-show up, bakit ganun ka, ano yung toxic traits mo. And then instead of judging yourself, try to be more compassionate and try to be more curious. Bakit nga ba ako ganun when I enter a relationship? Healing begins when you remove shame. I want you to start facing this shadow of you and wag mong ikahiya na ito yung core wounds na meron ka. Wag mong kahiya na ganito yung pagmamahal na alam mo. Palitan mo yung lente mo ng lente ng kabutihan, lente ng self-compassion. Kumbaga kung paano mo i-comfort yung kaibigan mo kapag may pinagdadaanan siya. Ganon yung ibigay mong comfort and lens sa sarili mo. Kasi if patuloy mong i-carry itong wounds na ito and itong shame na hala baka wala nang magmahal or maka-appreciate sa akin kasi ganito akong magmahal. Malulunod ka dyan sa ganyang paniniwala. So i-reject mo yung belief na hindi ka good enough, hindi ka kamahal-mahal, iiwan ka din. Kasi your words create your reality. So if ano yung paniniwala mo, yun talaga yung paulit-ulit mo na maa-attract. So if you wanna change the result or if you wanna change kung ano yung meron ka ngayon, you have to start changing your belief. And changing your belief starts by being compassionate to yourself. Sobrang daming judger na sa mundo. Wag mo nang i-judge yung sarili mo. Mas maging mabait ka kay self, okay? Maybe you can start imagining the younger version of you. Maybe start imagining yung mukha ng batang ikaw. And if you are to look at this person's eye, kung titingnan mo yung mukha or mata ng batang ikaw, how would you like to comfort this child? And maybe if you can imagine na itong batang ito ay madumi, kulang sa pagmamahal, feeling alone, feeling unloved, I want you to maybe start healing that child because now that you are an adult, mas capable ka na of giving that love to that child, which is you. So I want you to maybe start imagining na nililinis mo yung sugat niya. Kinakares mo yung kanyang pisngi. Pinapahid mo yung luha sa mga mata niya ngayon. And maybe tell this child na hindi ka na nag-iisa ngayon. Now na malaki ka na, now na nasa 30 era ka na, you can be the parent you never had. And number 3 is after self-compassion, you need to start rewiring. So first, acknowledge mo yung core wounds. Be compassionate about it. Tanggalin mo yung shame na yun yung wounds mo. And number 3, start rewiring it. Kasi kung hindi mo papalitan yung kwento sa isip mo or yung story or yung belief na meron ka sa utak mo, that will become your reality. So that's why important yung rewiring. And when I say about rewiring, no, let's go deeper. Kailangan mare-rewire mo siya doon sa subconscious level. Minsan hindi enough na yung conscious mind lang yung nire-rewire mo. Ang naiintindihan lang kasi ng conscious mind is words. So minsan 'di ba when you say I am lovable, I am good enough, I matter, I attract the right person to come to me. Minsan kahit sinasabi mo yung mga positive words or yung mga uplifting belief, minsan parang there's part of you na, totoo ba yan? Parang di naman. So yung voice na yon or yung noise na yon, maybe hindi kasi nagko-connect yung sinasabi ng subconscious mo sa conscious mo. Because yung subconscious, hindi niya naiintindihan yung words. Ang naiintindihan ng subconscious level ay repetition, emotion, and imagery. So medyo malalim na siya pero hindi sapat na words lang yung ginagamit mo to rewire your subconscious. Pero gagamitin mo yung words to create an emotion and imagery to rewire yung wounds or negative belief na meron ka. For example, if ang core wounds mo is I'm not good enough, now you rewire yung I'm not good enough to good enough. So that's conscious level. But if you really wanna go subconscious, you have to start collecting evidences, memories, imagery, emotion, from your past experiences supporting that you are good enough. So usually ginagawa ito through meditation or visualization, usually pagkagising sa umaga or bago matulog, para nasa alpha state. Ito yung most relaxed state ng mind mo. So pag ginawa mo yung meditation or yung ganitong visualization pagkagising sa umaga, parang open yung subconscious mo for suggestion. So kung ito yung i-imprint mo na belief pagkagising sa umaga, then you now start to rewire the subconscious level. Guys, research more about this. Hawag lang kayong basta makinig sa akin, pero sana nagigets ninyo. So ako, what I do every morning is, I visualize and I gather imagery and emotion from my past that supports that feeling na good enough ako. So nababalikan ko usually yung first time kong matanggap sa trabaho, yung graduate ako as magna cum laude, yung nakabili ako ng bahay at lupa for my parents, yung mga times na nag-show up ako sa friends ko, yung mga times na nakapagtayo ako ng business. Kumbaga, binabalikan mo yung success inventory mo, pero more than just the success inventory, binabalikan mo yung imagery and yung emotion na na-feel mo during that time. And doon mo marirealize na enough ka talaga. Doon mo ma-acknowledge na yung lie that you tell yourself na I'm not good enough ay hindi na totoo. Sa sobrang dami ng nangyari at sa sobrang dami ng resibo at pruweba na enough ka at kamahal-mahal ka. That's why it's very important that you take time for yourself when you wake up in the morning. Talagang effortan mo to na it's either gumising ka ng mas maaga para magkaroon ka ng time for solitude. Ito yung part ng tulala moments mo or during your walk. Kailangan mo talagang i-convince yung subconscious level mo na, enough na tayo ngayon. Kamahal-mahal tayo ngayon. And deserve natin na makita tayo at tratuhin tayo ng tama. Kasi kung patuloy kang magpapakain sa business ng mundo, sa ingay ng mundo, may iwan mo talaga yung self. May iwan mo talaga yung sarili mo, and at the same time, patuloy nalalalim yung sugat ng attachment wounds mo. So again, important yung tulala or intentional pause for you to really listen to yourself and start your healing process. Usually, it will take 21 days to rewire or reprogram your subconscious. Pero for me, it's a lifetime practice. Kailangan everyday. Hindi mo siya dapat tigilan because may mga panibagong triggers, may mga panibagong trauma. So every day you have to convince and rewire your subconscious to the belief na alam mong magsiserve sa'yo. After rewiring, fourth thing that you can do is what we call self-soothing. Ito yung part na kailangang marunong kang mag-regulate ng nervous system mo. Kasi when you get triggered, yung reaction mo would be automatic. Kasi nga yun yung nakasanayan mong way ng pag-respond or pag-react. So kung hindi ka marunong mag-regulate ng nervous system mo, magte-take ka ng action na pwedeng i-regret mo or pwedeng hindi na totoo sa'yo. So when triggered, I want you to pause, hinga ka lang, inhale, and exhale. And don't immediately seek validation. Kapag na-trigger ka, wag agad i-validate mo ko, bigyan mo ko ng supply, i-reassure mo ko. While it is important, it's important na alam mo rin pakalmahin yung sarili mo. So kapag na-trigger ka, sit with your emotion. I want you to start maybe labeling. Ano ba nararamdaman mo? Inggit, insecurity, anxiety, malungkot ka ba, masaya ka ba, nagsiselos ka ba, saan nanggagaling tong selos? Hinga, connect with your breath. If you need a walk, go ahead, walk. If you need to journal, if you need your alone time, go ahead. Or if you need na tumulala ka lang muna, go. And I highly encourage na pag nasa 30 era ka na, ito na yung skills na meron ka, yung self-soothing. Alam mo na kung paano kumalma. Hindi ka na reactive. Hindi ka na yung parang, pag na-trigger ka talagang makikipagbakbakan ka rin talaga, no? Pero pag na-trigger ka, kalmado ka lang. Mas mindful ka na sa iniisip mo, mas mindful ka na sa action mo, at mas mindful ka na doon sa kung paano ka magre-react. In fact, alam mo na yung difference between react and respond. Reaction is coming from ego, na ganyan ginawa mo sa akin na ito rin gagawin ko sa'yo. Versus responding, which is coming from inner knowing, coming from maturity, coming from your truth. coming from being grounded na, okay, yan ang ginawa mo sa akin. Okay, it hurts, but it speaks more of you than who I am. Kapag nag-respond ka at hindi ka nag-react, mas mature yung desisyon na nagagawa mo. So kapag marunong ka ng self-soothing, hindi mo hahanapin yung pagpapakalma sa iba kasi kaya mo siyang ibigay sa sarili mo. And natitrain mo rin yung sarili mo na wag masyadong maging dependent sa ibang tao para lang ma-achieve itong peace of mind na meron ka. And ang saya nun, no, na mag-enter ka ng relationship na kaya mong pakalmahin yung sarili mo nang hindi ka nakadepende sa iba. And then naniniwala ako, pag kalmado yung utak at puso mo, yung maa-attract mo na tao, mga kalmado din. And ang saya to be in a relationship na ganun kayo parehas. Na marunong kayong mag-self-regulate. Marunong kayong mag-alaga ng nervous system ninyo. So, the next time you meet someone, i-check mo muna, kaya niya bang i-regulate yung nervous system niya. And number 5 is what we call self-sourcing. Piliin mo yung sarili mo araw-araw. Lahat ng supply na pwede mong ibigay sa iba, ibigay mo muna sa sarili mo. So when I say self-sourcing, hindi lang ito pagbibigay sa sarili, but it is also about setting healthy boundaries. Ibig sabihin, alam mo yung limit na pwede mong maibigay, at alam mo rin yung limit na pwede mong ipakita doon sa tao. Alam mo yung halaga mo. Alam mo yung value that you're putting into the table. Alam mo when to say yes and when to say no. So the more na pinipili mo yung sarili mo, the more na hindi ka nagiging dependent sa ibang tao para lang maging stable ka or para lang maramdaman mo na kamahal-mahal ka. So kapag lagi mong binibigyan yung sarili mo, nagiging mas unconditional yung love. Kasi nagiging conditional lang naman yung pagmamahal kapag nagbigay ka ng hindi umaapaw pa yung meron ka. Alam mo yung nagbigay ka tapos nakulangan ka kasi binigay mo sa iba. So, malamang sa malamang, mag-e-expect ka talaga ng something in return. Kasi nga, nung binigay mo yan, may nagkulang sa'yo. Versus when you give from an overflow, hindi ka na mag-e-expect na ibalik niya pa yun kasi okay ka pa sa meron kay. And in fact, kung i-reciprocate yun or ibalik yun sa'yo, bonus na lang. For me, yun yung meaning ng unconditional love. When you start giving from an overflow. So kung wala ka pa sa relationship right now, go, ibuhos mo lahat sa'yo. Ibuhos mo yung lahat ng oras, pagmamahal sa sarili mo. Lahat ng salita na gusto mong marinig from other people, ibigay mo yan sa sarili mo. Time and attention, ibigay mo yan sa sarili mo. Gifts. Lahat ng gifts na gusto mong matanggap from other people, ikaw magbigay muna sa sarili mo. Even the hug that you're longing from other people, you can actually give it to yourself. Be the parent you never had. Do not enter a relationship nang hindi mo pa nagagawa ito for yourself. Kasi magiging unfair ka lang to that person na ire-require mo siyang mahalin ka or alagaan ka kasi hindi mo yun magawa sa sarili mo. But when you start learning this, ang swerte na magiging jowa mo na ang sayang magmahal ng alam mong mahalin yung sarili mo muna. Kaya sobrang swerte na magiging jowa ng trentahin mong friend. Kung nanonood ka man ngayon, see you. Excited na ako. That's it. Just to recap, again, number 1, start with awareness. Number 2, self-compassion. Number 3, rewire your subconscious. Number 4, self-soothing. And number 5, self-sourcing. Hindi ito one-time, big time na pag ginawa mo tong lahat ng to, magaling ka na. But it's actually a process. Malalim-lalim siya na proseso na sana simulan mo na. Para magsimula na yung healing at para mas ma-enjoy mo na yung love na deserve mo. Healing is not overnight, pero every time that you choose yourself, know na may nahihil ka na wounds from your past. Every time you choose yourself, something is already changing. Maaaring di mo pa nakikita, hindi mo pa nararamdaman, pero may nangyayari na. I think the fact lang na nanood ka or nakinig ka nitong podcast na ito, may pagbabago na nangyari. Di mo kailangang baguhin kung paano ka magmahal because wala namang mali sa pagmamahal. Ang kailangan mo lang i-recognize at matutunan ay kung paano magmahal nang hindi mo iniiwan ang sarili mo. That's it for episode 9. Maraming salamat for listening to the podcast. Thank you so much for all the comments, for all the DMs. Kinikilig ako kapag nagme-message kayo sa akin kasi nga affirmation ang love language ko. Thank you so much for giving this podcast 5-star rating. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. 1,000 followers na tayo sa Spotify and sa YouTube. And thank you din sa pag-tag sa akin sa IG stories. kinikilig talaga ako kapag nakikita ko na may nakikinig. Maraming salamat. You can also send this podcast to our fellow Trentahins or kahit hindi sila Trentahins pero feeling mo mag-benefit sila dito sa podcast na ito, go, isend nyo sa kanila ito. Ipagkalandakan ninyo ang Trentahin Podcast. And I hope in every episode ko na lang minamanifest ang pagkikita nating mga Trentahins. Excited to see you guys. Sumain niyo ang kagandahan, kayamanan at kapayapaan. Bye!